Welcome back to Future. And today I'm just going to be talking about breaking habits. I've started on a new series called Christ Unveiled. So this is the first topic of the month, breaking habits part 1. Now, let's jump straight to it. In the book of Genesis, we all know the story of creation, that God created men, that was Adam and Eve. And he placed them inside the garden called Eden. And in Eden, he gave them a set of instructions to follow. And one of the instructions that he gave them was, of all the trees that you see, he told them that don't partake of the tree from the knowledge of good and evil. But you see, Eve was beguiled by the devil, and she ended up partaking of the fruit. She also gave to her husband to eat. And guess what? Upon eating the fruit of that tree, they came to the realization that they were actually naked. Now the question is, weren't they naked before? Well, in absolute truth, they were naked before. But you see, at the end of the day, it was all about conscience. See, because that was when conscience was born. They suddenly knew the difference between good and evil. But let me tell you something. God never created us, or in God's ideal world, was never for us to be conscious of evil more than good. Now you see a lot of people now, they now live a life of frustration. They live a life of limitations. Why? Because they're now more conscious of evil more than they were good. You see, in your life, there always should be a balance, okay? And the scale should always be lower. There should be more depth when it comes to you seeing good more than you seeing bad. Now, what happened was, so they hid themselves from the presence of the Lord. And when God showed up, he asked them a question, what happened? And then now Adam started explaining, and that's what most of us do. Whenever we get into situations, we start explaining a lot of things, and we blame other people. We blame other people for our own actions. But you see, we have to get to a point whereby we are accountable for everything that we do instead of blaming. You see, we find out now people blame the world, people blame the society, people blame the government for all their actions. But you have to get to a point whereby you reach accountability. Because you see, accountability always gives birth to responsibility. Okay. Now, look at this. Now, God appears to them, and then he asks them, okay, what happened? Then the man complains and blames someone else. And then God told them, okay, fine, but who told you that you were naked? See, God was not even mad at the fact that they had eaten of the food. But his problem was, who told them that they were naked? In other words, who told them to have that consciousness? Who told them to think like that? You see, God hadn't designed men to think like that. God hadn't designed men to think or to see all your insecurities. God had never designed you to see all your flaws. God had never designed you to see all the wrong things about you. Because remember, when God created the heavens, he said that, oh, behold, he created the heaven, he created the earth, and he said, wow, it is beautiful. That's just the same thing when he looks at you. When he sees you, whatever your name is, he says, wow, that is so beautiful. Wow, you're so good. Wow, you're so brilliant. Wow, you're so successful. But man was not thinking like that anymore. And that was the biggest problem that we had. Now, this gave birth to also an inferiority complex. All right? Now, men started feeling sorry for himself. Men started seeing all the wrong things about him. But in the beginning, God had never designed for it to be like that. So what happened? Men went into hiding. So I might be talking to someone today. Maybe you have faced the challenge, and now you're into hiding. Now, this is the thing. Now, when they went into hiding, they found leaves to cover themselves. And that's when habits now come. Now, you see, habits are a byproduct of fear. But you see, that fear is as a result of you trying to hide from something. You're trying to hide something. So now you find that habit. Okay, what is the nearest thing that you can do? For example, probably you're nervous right now. And as you're nervous, you start biting your nails. Start biting your nails. And why are you doing that? It's because there is a bigger problem. There's a bigger problem that you're facing. Now, I tell a lot of people that every time when you face a problem, it is always a byproduct of a bigger problem that you have. So now biting your nails, you bite your nails. Why? Because you're afraid that, wow, I'm facing such a challenge. I'm nervous. For example, I have to produce such and such results at this time, but I don't know if I can. So now you just go into hiding, you start biting your nails. But I'm here to tell you today that, you see, God has elevated you. And that's why Christ came. Christ came so that you could get out of hiding. You could get out of the point, out of the place of fear, and come into a place of authority and power. That is what Christ came to do. He came to bring us into a place of authority and power. Now notice, whenever there is a problem, like I said before, it's always a byproduct of a bigger problem. So you go to the root of the problem. What is the root of the problem? The root of the problem is that you're afraid. Now the Bible always says that the fear of man is a snare. And what does a snare do? A snare traps you. A snare traps you from where you are. It traps you that you can't move from where you are to where you want to go. So always make sure that you are always surrounded, or you're at a place whereby it doesn't give birth to more fear, but it gives birth to power and to control. So join me next week when I talk about part 2 of how to break habits.